Welcome to the Commvault channel. In our previous video, we have added Active Directory Domain Controller. In this video, we will continue discussing adding external users and user groups, and other domain controllers. Please like, share, comment, or suggest. Subscribe for more videos. And you can follow us on Instagram. Let's check what we have under this domain. We have users and user groups. Select users. We see there are no external users associated with this group. Select external groups. There are no external groups assigned to this user group. Let's add an external user to this users group. You can add external user accounts for users who need to access the system. When you add an external user account, you can assign the account to the available user groups, or leave the account unassigned. New User Properties window. Use this window to create user accounts, or to change user account properties. General tab. External domain is the domain to which the external user belongs. Select an external user. If you are aware of the username, then type the name of the external user in the text box. If you are not aware, click Browse. Browse for external user window. Use this window to browse for users who are members of the external domain. You can browse and select an external user, or search for users based on any of the displayed fields, that is, name, full name, email, or description. Once done, click OK. We discussed these options in our other video, Commvault User Administration and Security, Commcell Users. User Groups tab. Use this window to assign the user account to one or more user groups. Available groups lists the user groups of which the selected user account is not a member. Member groups list the user groups of which the selected user account is a member. Use these options to move the groups around. A user account can be a member of any number of user groups. Create a new user group. Use this option to create a new user group. The current user can then be associated with this new user group. Associated Entities tab. We discussed this window in our other video, Commvault User Administration and Security, User Groups, Part 3 of 1. We will go ahead and add the association with entities, and assign a role. Additional Settings tab. Use this window to set additional settings, in other words registry keys. Once done, click OK. The external user is added successfully to the Commcell. Let's add an external user group. Select New User Group. You can add external groups to the Commcell environment, so that external users have access to Commcell entities. New User Group Properties window. General tab. External domain is the domain to which the external user group belongs. Name is the name of the external user group. Click Browse. Browse for external user group. Use this window to browse for user groups who are members of the external domain. You can browse and select an external user group, or search for a user group based on any of the displayed fields, that is, name, full name, email, or description. Once done, click OK. Use the description field to enter a description of the entity. This description can include information about the entity's content, ticket number, and so on. These options are already discussed. User Groups tab. Assign a user group by moving it from available members to the associated members. Associated Entities tab. Let's add an association with an entity, and assign a role. Other tabs have been already discussed. Once done, click OK. The user group is successfully associated with the COM-cell. Let's move further, and discuss adding other domains. The next domain to discuss is Apple Directory Service. You can add an Apple Open Directory domain, so that users can log on to the COM-cell environment with their Open Directory credentials. An Open Directory user can log on with either a user ID and password, or an email address and password. To enable Open Directory domains on the COM-serve computer, add the Enable Apple Directory Service additional setting. Add a new domain controller window. Use this window to add or edit an Apple Directory Service domain controller. We do not have an Apple Directory Service domain controller in our environment, so we cannot configure it and show, but we will try to explain the options as detailed as we can. General tab. OSX server name. Enter the host name for the Open Directory server. Domain name. Enter the IP address of the network interface for the Open Directory server, or the fully qualified domain name. User account. Click Edit to enter the user account information for the domain. If your COM-serve host is a member of the domain controller, you can enter local system account and leave the password blank instead of a domain user account. If you are using a domain user account, the account must have at least read access to the domain. Consider using a service account instead of an employee account to prevent disruptions if the employee account is disabled. We have already discussed these options. Use the description field to enter a description of the entity. Additional Settings tab. We have already discussed this tab. Once done, click OK. If no issues reported, then you should see the Apple Open Directory domain is successfully added to the COM-cell. Once the Apple Open Directory domain is added successfully, you should be able to see the users and external groups, like this. You should be able to associate external Apple Directory users and user groups to the COM-cell. Adding an external user, or user group, is similar to what we have discussed for Active Directory. Please note, if you are working with an Apple Open Directory, the browse operation might not display a full list of users. Instead, in the Select an External User box, enter the full, or partial name of the external user that you want to add, and then click OK. We will end this video here. In our next video, we will continue discussing other domain controllers. Please hit the like button if you like this video, and subscribe to our channel if not already done so. Thank you. Do subscribe for more videos.